Season 1 of Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous surprised a lot of audience members by not only being an enjoyable dinosaur show for kids, but also appealing to adults with its human kills, great-looking dinosaurs, and excellent character work that was given to Darius and the other kids on the island. Just a few hours ago, I got done watching Season 2, and in this video, I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I thought of it. Non-spoilers, of course. Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Now, Camp Cretaceous Season 2 has just been released, and you can watch it for yourselves on Netflix right now. Our story picks up immediately where we left off from the last 8 episodes, with the remaining 5 kids lost and abandoned on Isla Nublar, and trying to find some way to get off of the island. So, positives first. In my opinion, Season 2 offered up a lot of really cool dinosaur action that wound up being way more varied than the first. You get to see some expansion on the Baryonyx, the Ankylosaurus, Stegosaurus, and of course, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. In fact, I'd say the Rex was utilized quite well here in every episode it happened to be featured in. What I found to be the most fun, though, about the dinosaur action overall was the way in which they utilized Chaos, Grim, and Limbo, which are 3 Baryonyx that behave in a family group or pack-like behavior during the season. Their scenes, I think, amounted to a lot of fun, and particularly in the last episode, things got really cool in a later scene. The plot this time around was much less complex when compared to the first batch of episodes, with a new threat coming out to greet the kids in a pretty big way. The best way I can describe this without giving anything away is that it's pretty much a combination of The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. Also, there's this small moment where it looked like they were presenting 2 people to the audience, and it's clearly misdirection, but when I saw what they were showing me up on the screen, I won't deny that my heart kind of skipped a beat and I got really excited. I wasn't let down by what the reveal actually turned out to be, but it did make me feel very excited to see what's in store for the future of this franchise. Running alongside the main plot, there is this interesting side story that's tucked away and left open to explore in further seasons when the show continues forward. And that's something that I really can't wait to see expanded upon in the future. Now for the negatives. Personally, to me, Season 2 of Camp Cretaceous is a noticeable step down when compared to its predecessor. Whereas the first season really surprised me with how much focus they put on Darius as a character and how he was dealing with his father's passing from cancer, Season 2 kind of sidelines character development completely and just becomes a show where everyone is trying to get away from the threats of the island during its 8-episode run. They do kind of start to develop Yaz, Brooklyn, and Kenji more, but for some reason all of that development is dropped once a few new characters get introduced. And from there on out, it really began to suffer from what a lot of critics cited as being an issue with The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, which is the show kind of just became about showing us dinosaurs and new and exciting set pieces, and the characters became second fiddle. And some of these set pieces are downright insane in my opinion, with 2 in particular setting themselves apart for some of the craziest stuff that I've ever seen in a Jurassic story. I'd liken their craziness to the raptor gymnastics from the second movie in all seriousness. One death in particular I actually thought was so out of left field and bizarre that I found myself shocked that it actually happened in the episode. With that being said, Camp Cretaceous Season 2 still managed to make me very happy with a lot of the actual plot development as the story continued. If there's one specific thing that I thought stood out really well in the show, it was the reveal of a really dark and mean-spirited killing on the island that actually made me feel like I was watching something straight out of the movies. Again, it felt a lot like The Lost World, which, if you haven't figured it out by now, had to have been a pretty big influence on this season. I think apart from the criticisms I've already made, probably the only real issue that I have with this season is how things and characters get from place to place and the logic that has to be applied to these scenes in order for them to work. Yes, I know it's a cartoon made for kids, but it's still set within the Jurassic World universe, and sometimes weird things can happen that make you go, really? Okay, when they're playing out on screen. When I do my spoiler review, I'll be sure to explain fully what I mean, because I want to make sure that if someone sees this review that actually works on the show, they should know that I'm not trying to go wild and talk down about it or anything. I actually had a really great time here, but I see a lot of Jurassic Park fans every day, and they literally leave like thousands of comments for me to read all the time. So I feel like if I were able to just express what I think didn't work out as well as I'd hoped, from the point of view as an adult who grew up with this franchise, which is what I am, it would probably help everyone out a little more in the long run. Overall, I'd have to say that I had a good time with Camp Cretaceous Season 2. It's not as good as Season 1 in my opinion, and I think there are some things that really held it back, but the basic premise, new characters, dark elements to the plot, and overall fun atmosphere had me once again very happy. With that out of the way, I think I'd have to say that if you wanted to know my full feelings, I'm walking away with something like a 60/40 outlook on the show this season, or 6 out of 10 overall. I had a fun time, and I think kids will love it, but I do think that it has a few issues that are really obvious to anyone who walked out of Season 1 absolutely loving what they were able to do with the show. They really hit a lot of highs in that first season, and those 8 episodes are really good Jurassic Park. This new season's just not as good as that. That doesn't make it bad, but I do think you can easily fix it with just a few tweaks. Anyways guys, those are all just my own thoughts on the subject matter. I'll be doing a spoiler review very soon in the future, and when I do, I hope you all join me for a discussion on every single detail that goes down in Season 2. Now, whatever your own thoughts and opinions happen to be, I'd love to hear them in the comments down below. Now before I go, I'd like to thank all of my game wardens, as well as all of my InGen executives. I'd also like to thank all of my park workers and InGen hunters as well. Guys, it seriously means the world to me that you all continue to support what I do, and I never want you to ever forget that. Now, I'd like to thank you all for watching today's video, and hope you all enjoyed the content. If you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate the like and hope that you'll consider subscribing if you're interested in hearing from me again. I'll see you all in the next video, guys, and as always, take it easy.